What's up, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Ben Pakulski at the Mi40 gym. We did a video this morning, a video post on Facebook and Instagram saying that we're going to be shooting videos today, and we got a ton of questions. So I'm going to rip through some of them really quickly and give you guys the answers so there's no delay. You guys know what's coming back. Optimum range for time between sets for hypertrophy strength and power, and do anything specific between sets like stretching or isometrics. So this is one we got to touch on. We're going to do a video on this later. Stretching and its involvement in hypertrophy. I'm not going to quite go into it right now, but the optimal range of a rest period between sets for hypertrophy is the rest period that you haven't been using. That's the best one for you right now. And for most people, let's keep it shorter because most people rest way too long. If it's any more than 3 minutes, it's wasting time. And that's the same for strength. Strength is usually, I think, somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes. What I say is more than enough. For hypertrophy is under 3 minutes. Ivan DeWeer, is it useful to apply internal rotation of the upper arm while doing dumbbell press? Because one of the main functions of the chest, next to bring your arm across the body. No, I don't think it is necessary. I think it's just, I would just suggest not doing external rotation. Dustin wakes up at 4:30, works out at 6. I drink 1 cup of egg whites pre-workout, try and delay carbs post-workout. 15% body fat, what do you recommend? Dustin, egg whites in the morning, if you're drinking on an empty stomach, are probably going to be insulogenic anyways. So it may not be your best bet, man. It may be okay, but you may mix it with something that may slow digestion, a little bit of fat, a little bit of maybe some beef, some MCT. And delaying carbs post-workout may not be your best idea or your best opportunity because your cortisol is going to be high. So if anything, I would take the carbs and then train hard, train harder, and then delay the carbs later. I'm going to do this question in a longer video. When bench pressing is bar placement important? I'm going to do that in a longer video because yes, it's important, but I'm going to show you how and why. The simplicity of it is, yes, it's important because it completely determines what part of your chest is going to be recruited. And you also need to make sure that your elbow is directly underneath the bar. Both elbows are obviously directly underneath the bar. Are deadlifts overrated for back hypertrophy? Yes and no. The answer is, if you tend to recruit your back really well, your lats really well, then it's not overrated. If you don't tend to use your back really well, then it is overrated, and that's individual. So the simple idea there is, here's a very brief explanation that I teach a lot in my camps. When doing a deadlift, your body has any number of possible muscle groups that it can use to do that deadlift. Hamstrings, glutes, lower back, lats to stabilize and extend the spine. Your body's always going to use the biggest muscles first. So if you are someone who's really lat dominant, has big strong lats, your body's going to use that. If you have really underdeveloped lats but you have massive glutes and erectors, your body's going to use the glutes and erectors. It's never going to use the lats. That's just how genetic variances work. Strong body parts, weak body parts. Should a natural lifter focus more on frequency or volume? Woo, isn't that the ultimate question? Man, the answer is they need to be varied. You need to do all of them. I would say lower volume, higher frequency is most often going to be most advantageous for most natural lifters. But then again, there is some times when you may want higher volume and lower frequency. So, but you need to make sure that you're progressing in whatever it is. So perhaps starting with higher frequency and low volume and gradually increasing your volume and gradually decreasing your frequency at the same time. So think about it like a pyramid, right? So you're going up and you're coming down because you always got to be fluctuating your stimulus. Come on, man, that's not an easy question. How to program a well-balanced hybrid strength hypertrophy routine. What's that? Yeah, exactly. We put these programs out every 6 weeks on Mi40 Nation. The first response is buy Mi40 Xtreme because that's what we do. Study the programming, that's what we're great at. We put these out every 6 weeks in the Mi40 Nation. It's $9 to join. This is another kind of funny and ironic question. How do I protect my joints and articulations for long-term bodybuilding results? Buy Mi40 Xtreme. That's what we do, man. This is what we're good at. No, I mean, it sounds like I'm selling it, but like that's all we do. That's what we're teaching you every single day, how to maintain your joints for long-term bodybuilding success. Nobody builds muscle when they're injured out of the gym or when their joints hurt. Is there a special program for tall guys? Yes, my good buddy Aaron Reed has a program which I helped Aaron, I don't know if I helped him develop it, but I've helped him with his training a lot. Just look up Aaron Reed on Instagram, world's tallest bodybuilder. He's actually got a pretty sick physique. He's getting ready for nationals. I don't know what his website is, but tallguytraining.com maybe. I know he has something to do with that. I'm gonna read this question. I don't know that I have an answer. How can I maximize glycogen stores to create a fuller muscle belly? I'm about 6'3" and 305 pounds. I train 5 days a week in intense workouts. Any tips for a taller guy, please? Yeah, you're a big dude. I'm looking at your picture. Fuller muscle belly. You need to increase glycogen synthesis. Man, learning how to contract muscles is the only way. Learning how to contract those muscles and take them to places they've never been. Make your contractions very, very hard, very, very dense. Strength training can help and make your glycogen stores greater, but it needs to be using the right muscle. So if you watch the video I shot today, I'm in a strength phase right now. So my first 2 exercises are very heavy, 3 to 5 reps. And then I go into stuff that is really only muscular contraction. There's no momentum whatsoever, but I'm aggressively trying to contract the muscle like I'm posing. And I find that is one of the best ways for me to improve glycogen stores and fullness and roundness in a muscle. So you still do the heavy training with perfect form, but then you're doing this really, really contraction-based. It's not a slow movement, but it's very meticulously controlled with the right muscle. I want to know if I should start my new workout schedule with chest or shoulders after doing back 2 days. Chest. Actually train them together. I think that chest and shoulders separately may be overkill for most people. Train them together because chest needs stimulus, but when you're training your chest, you're getting a lot of shoulder stimulus, particularly front delts. So what I'm doing now is I'm training chest, front delts, and lateral delts, and then I'm training back with rear delts. So, okay, I think this video is starting to get long. Last question. How do I increase my external rotation of my shoulders to better my pressing? I just answered that question. Whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you're training external rotation with the exercise you're trying to do. So if you're trying to improve your shoulder pressing, you need to make sure that you're challenging external rotation. How do you do that? Well, if I'm doing a dumbbell shoulder press, I want to have a band coming from somewhere over there that forces me to pull that band longer. So I have to maintain this position while I do this. Does that make sense? So I don't ever want to just go and do external rotation. I think it's useless. So I want to challenge this motion while I do this motion. And that's the only way your brain is going to learn how to do those things together, because you need to train your brain to fire those muscles together. Ben Pakulski from the Mi40 Gym, out.